Hello and welcome back. So, what was I even trying to say? Oh, we have a very exciting episode. Not really. It's just me. No guest stars or anything. Just good old LEB talking about my journey back to Saudi Arabia, Stockholm Writers Festival, and my anniversary. So, without further ado, let's dive in. First things first, while I was away in May, Robert made so many new friends, which is great, except for now we have to do things with them. So this past weekend, we had 3 back-to-back nights of adventures, and I stayed up very late all 3 nights. My friend even looked at me and was like, I'm very impressed that you're awake right now and, like, functional. I'm like, me too. So we went to a party at, like, this Austrian girl's house. Maybe she was Dutch. I don't remember. I think it was Austria. Met a bunch of Robert's new friends. We went to dinner with our friends at an Asian restaurant. Then we went to our Irish friend's house to help him entertain a guest. Oh, just so many people. And then Robert and I had our anniversary 2 days ago. So Sunday the 7th was 6 years of marriage. What? I know. Feels like just yesterday. Simultaneously not long enough, but also like a lifetime, if that makes sense. So we went to dinner to our favorite restaurant, La Rustica. I almost said Pisano, which is what the La Rustica pizza tastes like. Mom, you get it. It's wet pizza. Delicious. And then there was a blood moon. So we watched the lunar eclipse, and then we watched it turn to a blood moon, which was super cool. We gave each other gifts. I made a map for him. It's on the wall, like out of paper, because I think that I've decided that wrapping paper is just capitalist, and not in like a good way, in like a ruining the environment way. So I just make my own from now on. So I got him another willow people and some cast iron skillets. So iron was the one for this year. So he won with presents. He got me these really cool, they're in America because they're heavy. It's like almost like a trivet. I don't know how to say it. The thing you put the hot pots on. And it's got a dragon on it with these like symbols, and it's iron. And then like these things that he said go outside, but I think it'd be cooler to put in like the corner of a room or like in like a bedroom or something, and it's got these dragons on it. Or like he said that they can be used as bookends, which would be super cool. So he put a lot of thought into it. I got these little cast iron skillets because you can make cookies in them, and so there was like a recipe. I think Kate Griffin, one of my friends from college, she an enemy in high school. Fun fact. We went from enemies to friends. She was like telling me you can put cookie dough in them and like make so where it's like crunchy, like hard but soft in the middle or something. I don't really remember, but I found the recipe, so hopefully that's what we'll do. And you can do eggs and stuff in them. Robert's like, don't we need to grease these? I'm like, that seems like something you should figure out because it's your present. Speaking of presents, we had all of our friends come over, so their presence was our presents. We had like 14 people come to our house last night to watch our wedding video. So if you guys don't know, my parents watched their wedding video every year on their anniversary, and we would watch it with them as kids. Friends that were over would watch it. I had people at the beach one time, and we all watched it together. So Robert and I started doing this, and when we were here, our 3rd wedding anniversary was here in Saudi, and so our friends were like, oh, what are you guys going to do? We're like, oh, we're going to watch our video. They're like, well, we've never seen a Christian wedding. So we were like, okay. So we pulled it up, and we all watched it together. And then the next year rolls around, and they were like, so when are we watching the video? So now it's become a thing. So this is our 4th wedding anniversary in Saudi, celebrating with our Saudi friends. And so we had some newbies last night who were watching it, and they were like, some of them were tearing up, and they're like, I don't know why. Like Leal, probably one of our longest term friends, was like, I don't understand why I'm crying. I've seen this 3 times already. Like, this is my 4th time, and I'm still tearing up. And they were like, oh, that's cute. And then afterwards, our friend Emily from Canada, she was like, okay, so my favorite takeaways are, and then she was like, nobody else wants to give their favorite takeaways? She was like running through. Also, I have something in my teeth, so don't look at it. She was like, nobody else wants to give away? Like, tell me what their favorite takeaways were? Like, I really liked. Our friend Obey really liked Papa Joe saying the poem. Although nobody could understand Papa Joe or Randy. They were like, we don't know the words. Even Rev Ron, some of them, like even Emily from Canada was like, I don't know what that man is saying. Like, that's the preacher. And then everyone laughed when I spoke because they were like, you don't sound like that. I'm like, maybe not now, but when I was nervous in front of a bajillion people, a little bit. And then when I faked my shot with all the boys, they were like, that's amazing. That's so you. I'm like, well, it was me. And then like 3 of my friends were like, so your dress. And I was like, yeah, those were not, there was a push-up. And they're like, oh my God, we thought like you lost them or something. I was Like, no. That's just the aesthetic for the wedding. And they were like, okay. So it was really nice. Robert did burgers, and we had so many desserts, and everybody stayed until like almost like 11. So they got there at like 8-ish, 8:30, stayed till 11. So it was a really good time. It was probably, Robert and I were discussing it, pillow talk, and we decided it was probably one of our favorite gatherings. Thanksgiving last year was pretty good. But it was probably one of our favorite gatherings with all of our friends because we were all together and we got to watch Robert and I and talk about Robert and I. And not that that's why it was great, but it was, I don't know. I set the table. I made it look really pretty. I think I took a picture. I think. If not, bummer. But Robert got me these flowers for our anniversary, and they were in like this big bouquet, and so I broke them down into little mason jars, and like it was all set up nice. So on Thanksgiving, we've decided we're going to host Thanksgiving again because we like to. But Robert was like, we're going to extend to like all friends, like periphery and everything. So like we'll have our core friend group there. Sorry, lady. It just hit me. So we'll have our core friend group there, and then he's like, but he also wants to invite like everyone else. So we're obviously going to have to do it on the porch, and we're going to have to steal some more tables. So we'll see how it goes. Because our friend Emily, we didn't have enough tables or chairs, so our friend Emily was like, you can borrow my table, because she lives in the compound. So we like took the car under the garage, and then we got her tables and chairs. But I mean, it fit inside. It was nice, but tight squeeze. I obviously have since fixed sorry, there's something in my eye. It's like just flew in there. Anyway, I fixed obviously the couch and stuff back because, can't get any work done if the house is a mess. So yeah, that was fun. I finished on our anniversary day. No, yesterday. I finished my first draft. Huzzah! Of book 3. Huzzah! So I need to go through and fix all the bits. I'm going to have to read it like a million times because it's probably wackadoodle. I am sure that I'm going to read it and be like, have I ever written a book ever? Yeah, my hair looks crazy. Looks, I guess, maybe a little better down. Maybe not. Anyway, what else? Finished my first draft. Oh, I'm going to physical therapy. Robert finally graduated from physical therapy, though. I'm sure he'll end up going back because he really likes the people. And because he's still having some weird pain and stuff. What in the world? That's kind of cool. Okay, I feel like a princess. My physical therapist had me do an MRI last week because my hip is really hurting. And turns out I might have torn my hip flexor or something. Some muscle that's where I think the hip flexor is. And that's not great, so that sucks. Not sure what I'm going to do about that one. Hoping that Dr. Brown, I'm talking to my surgeon tonight. He's going to call me and explain to me what the heck that means. So hopefully I'll get some answers on when I can run again because I'm going to freak out. We go to Cairo next week. Robert has a work event in Cairo, and the only reason I'm going is because I've decided I never want to be apart from him again, and I want to crawl into his skin. So I'm going to go with him to Cairo, and then we're going to go to Alexandria to see the lighthouse and or the library afterwards, on the weekend. So you can snorkel and scuba in the ruins of the things. So we're going to go do that. And I'm going to do some editing, obviously. I think this time I'm going to print the book out like I did for book 1. I want to hold it, It's not as girthy as book 1, but I still want to hold it. And I've got a lot of workshops coming up. I've got a poetry reading at the end of September, got a workshop in October, and 2 workshops in October, a workshop in November, and maybe another poetry reading. The Ministry of Culture has me doing 2 different things, and they're kind of back to back. So that's it for me. Let's dive into Stockholm Writers Festival. I know I kind of went forward in time, but now we're going backwards. So Stockholm Writers Festival, here we go. So I flew into Stockholm on Friday. I sprinted through the airport to get there. And I went Riyadh to Turkey, to Istanbul, SAW. It's the non-fancy one. And then SAW to ANR, which is in Stockholm. And then I took the fast train into town. And that's when Ildi and I got in kind of at the exact same time. Ildi's one of my online friends. And so we met up, and then we taxied into Stockholm proper together, the historical area or whatever. And she went and got lunch with a friend. I sat and wrote a little bit and kind of just wandered the streets. And then we all got together. So of my little writing group, 4 of us went to Stockholm. So we got Ildi's from Sweden. Brittany lives in Spain, but she's Floridian, from the U.S. And then Kat is French, and so she came from France. And so It was actually so amazing to get to see them in real life. Like, I felt like we got way closer. Like, we talk 3 times a week already. I'm doing a lot with my hands, sorry. We talk 3 times a week already for, like, on our writing calls, but to see them in person and to get to spend, like, extended quality time. So Friday night, we all went and got dinner together, and then we sat up in Ildy's, like, she had a hotel room that had, like, kind of a, what's that called, like a living space, I guess? It's like a side room. So we stayed up there, and we chatted till, like, almost midnight. My Airbnb was, like, uptown, so I had to go hiking uptown with my big backpack on, and it was, they said it was for one person, and they were not wrong. The bed was, like, the width of my shoulders. Like, if I rolled, I was rolling off the bed. So I was there. And then each morning we would meet up, like at the festival. So Saturday and Sunday were like the main festival. And we would have like something in the morning, and then you'd have a breakout session, and then lunch, and then a breakout session, and then like a panel and another breakout session. So you'd go to like 3 a day. And so there was only 2 where I didn't have anybody. Like, we always had, one of us was always with the other for the session. So Ildy and I had a lot of sessions together, and Kat and I had a lot of sessions together. And then all 4 of us, Brittany and I had 1, I think. And then all 4 of us had 1 at the end. So Saturday, we did all of our sessions or whatever. And Saturday night, Ildy and I ate dinner because everybody else wanted to go to the bar. And I was like, I am not doing that. It's far. It was like a 45-minute walk or like a 20-minute train ride. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So no. So then Sunday, we all gathered. We did our thing. Ildy had a headache, so she went and like took a nap. And then Kat and I Brittany was at a table with someone else, and Kat and I like snuck into this, not snuck in, but we were like late, so we kind of creeped in. We were sitting like kind of in the middle row of this talk, and it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. And so I'm just like not paying attention anymore. And I'm doing stuff on my phone, making lists, whatever, sending emails. And so Kat texted me and was like, what are you doing? I'm like, trying to be productive. And she was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I was like, me neither. We should go together. And she was like, no, that'd be weird. I'm like, no, we have to go together. Like right now, actually. So we both like packed up our stuff and went out, and she went before me. And so she like thought the door was really heavy because all the doors in Sweden are like impossibly heavy. So she like swung it open, but it was really lightweight. So it like, wha-ba-ba-ba-bam, as it like collided with the wall. And then I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like trying to close it, but then it's super light. So when I close it, it's like, wha-ba-ba-ba-bam, as it closes. And we were like, oh my God. We were like on the ground, like, no way did we just make such a racket. It was redonk. Ugh. But then I had an interview with an agent. I like paid extra to like get to chat with an agent. And he is looking for my type of book, and he did ask for 3 of my chapters from book 1, from Out of Embers and Shadows. So we'll see. I made him a PowerPoint of why he should choose me. So I asked if that was okay first. So hopefully he'll see it and be like, she's super cool. I should represent her. Because he said a lot of times having already published, like self-published, published the book means you have like a readership. So like the agents don't have to work as hard to get you readership, So we'll see. It's 8 to 12 week waiting time. So 7 to 11 weeks left, I guess. Yay. And then Sunday night, Ildy had to go. So we all hung out in the hotel until Ildy got on her train, or I guess technically her bus to the plane, because all the trains decided to stop because there was like a system with a signaling system error. It seems dangerous. And then me, Kat, and Brittany went to, it's called Thai Boat. It's a Viking ship, like a full-scale wooden Viking ship that they serve Thai food on. And it's like decorated like Thailand, but it's a Viking ship. So I had Thai food on a Viking boat. Delicious. And then we got some dessert there, and then we did a little walkabout, and then I was like, I gotta go to sleep. I am bushed. Sorry, Lainey. So that was that. And then Monday morning, I had to be at the airport. My flight was at like maybe 3:30 or 2:30, 4:30, I think. And so I met up at a bookshop. It's like this huge, it's like, they call it science fiction, but it's just like fantasy and science fiction. So the 3 of us met there, me, Ildy, and Kat, met at the bookshop. We got some like chai lattes, chai tea kind of thing. And I guess chai means tea. So chai latte. And then we went and they got a vegan lunch, and I just watched because gross. And then I had to get on the train to skedaddle. But it was so nice to get to see people. I do feel like I learned a little bit. Some of the stuff was for like newer writers, and so I'm like, oh, I've already I've already done that. Like, I've already written a book, so like I know how to outline a book because I've written one. But there was definitely some, like, one of the speakers whose name I don't know, she was really great. She did one on editing, and she did like a live editing session, so like people submitted their work, and she would like went through the first page and would say like, this is where I would edit, this is what I would change, like these are things that, and she never said like you need to change this. She would just say, from my editing perspective, these are things that I would highlight, which was really cool. And then she like turned it to us to get to like say what we felt about it. So it was really insightful. And then she did one on like called a literary striptease, and it was all about like cliffhangers and reveals. She was just a really good public speaker. She was really fun, so I liked her a lot. And the leader of the whole thing was really cool too. So we got a lot of QT with some peoples, and they did a good job of like fostering relationships. So I really enjoyed it, and I felt like I got a lot of useful experience for excuse me, for the Writers Festival we're trying to do here in Riyadh. So we'll see. And then I flew home, and Robert picked me up at 4 a.m. on Tuesday because it was a long journey into the night, as they say. And lots of airport peoples. Some lady tried to pass through security, like international security, with 36 like fresh eggs. I'm talking like they were in like a bowl with like plastic on top, feathers still like attached. And she was like, they're my eggs. And the guy was like, bah, Turkish. And she was like, bah, not Turkish. And I'm like, guys, I just want to go to McDonald's. Like, please let me just go eat my McDonald's at like midnight. Like, I just want to go to McDonald's and watch Ghost Whisperer. But then I got back, and then it was so strange because like last week I got back, but it feels like I got back weeks ago. So like I was doing something on Wednesday. Someone was like, how was Stockholm? And I was like, when did I go to Stockholm? And they're like, you literally got back yesterday. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. So it's been a week since today that a week since today that I got back. So I'm like, whoa, I was like, why am I so tired? Because I'm still adjusting, obviously. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but not really. We're just kind of chugging along. We go to Cairo next week. We go to Portugal in October, Halloween. We're going to go to Georgia, the country, in November to see the leaves fall, like change. But that's pretty much everything from us at present. I'll keep you guys in the loop. I do have calendars that I'm going to send out, like one of the, if you're attached to it, I have sent out some family newsletters just to like update everyone on what we're doing and where we're going. So I'll probably send one of those out this week, if not early next week, that has calendars that you know where we are. It's color coordinated, obviously. And yeah, that's us. We do come in town to America our next time in America is December. So we'll be landing in Charlotte on like the 12th, I think. I have to look back at our flights. And we'll be in Hickory first, so North Carolina first half. Second half is Columbia, and then we leave on the 26th at like 9 a.m. from Atlanta. So I'm not really sure how we're going to get there on time, but we will figure it out. Because we are climbing Mount Kilimanjaro for New Year's. That is what I told Robert I wanted to do. Even if my hip is broken, I would like to go climb a mountain so I can say I have and then never do it again. So we'll see how that works out too. All in all, that's everything I think from now. Yeah, I'm trying to think through, make sure. Yep, that's everything. So check back in probably after Cairo. So in about a week and a half. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the very few pictures I have.
In a shell.